In the heart of the city stands a hospital too busy to notice the quiet sacrifices made within its sterile halls. The owner, a woman of sharp instincts and a hidden heart for justice, pulls on scrubs and a nurse badge under a false name after whispers of patient mistreatment and staff cruelty. Reach her private office, she walks unnoticed past the polished front desk, blending with the scent of antiseptic and quiet hum of machines, watching everything, pretending to mop up a spill while her eyes catch the snide laughter of two young orderlies mocking a frail patient too weak to lift his tray. She follows the laughter deeper down the hall. Her name tag says Clara, but behind her calm eyes is the CEO whose signature bought this building 10 years ago. She sees a young doorman, really a hospital attendant, with gentle eyes, hiding behind the staff entrance door, counting coins from his pocket to buy a sandwich for the same patient the bullies ignored. She watches him slip the sandwich onto the tray when no one's looking, whispering, "You'll get stronger, okay?" as he wipes a tear from the old man's cheek, then straightens his faded uniform coat, pretending nothing happened. Clara breathes in the sting of hidden decency in a place that sells mercy for a fee. She sweeps the corridor near the locker room, overhearing the same rude orderlies laugh about a stolen tip jar, blaming a night shift cleaner who can't even speak up to defend himself. Clara's heartbeat races. She planted a hidden camera last week above the staff break room just to confirm what she felt in her bones. Tonight, she'll watch. She waits behind the vending machine, pretending to refill it, while the young doorman slips back inside the break room, searching every locker with shaking hands, desperate to find the missing money before the poor cleaner gets fired. Suddenly the door bursts open. The rude orderlies catch him mid-search, laughing, snapping pictures, saying, "Look at the hero, now stealing tips too." They shove him down a chair, slap a half-empty soda can in front of him, as if mocking an arrest. Clara's eyes burn. She slips away unnoticed, heading for the back security office, where her camera footage waits. The security guard nearly spills his coffee when she barks, "Play last night's break room clip now." The monitor flickers, showing the same two orderlies pocketing the money while the cleaner sweeps the floor. Oblivious, Clara copies the clip to her flash drive, sliding it into her scrub pocket. She marches back. The break room door creaks open, her calm voice slicing through the chaos. The doorman's eyes widen, seeing the fake nurse he helped once with the stuck elevator 2 months ago before she vanished into paperwork. Now she's here, standing for him before he even knows her name. She plays the clip on her phone screen. The bullies freeze, faces draining white as their crime loops in bright pixels over and over. The cleaner arrives, speechless, tears dripping onto his torn shoes, realizing he's free of blame. The doorman tries to stand to thank her, but she gently pushes him down, placing the stolen jar in his hands, filling it back with crisp bills from her wallet. The bullies sputter excuses, but Clara raises a single finger, silencing them. Security drags them out past the gasps of curious nurses peeking from behind patient charts. The doorman stares at her, trembling, unsure if he should salute or bow. Clara kneels by him. "My level voice soft, you have fed more people in this hospital than the cafeteria ever could." She pulls off her badge, revealing her true ID card tucked behind the fake name. His eyes widen, seeing the CEO's signature embossed in gold. Before he can stammer, she presses an envelope into his palm. Inside, a promotion letter, hospital attendant supervisor, plus a small scholarship to nursing school. His dream hidden behind years of working double shifts to care for a sick mother. The old patient peeks in through the door frame, whispering, "Thank you, young man." The doorman's eyes brim over. His shoulders shake, his heart pounds. Clara slips away, blending back into the humming halls, scrubs rustling as she signs discharge papers for patients who will never know the name of the nurse who isn't a nurse, who stood guard for the kind souls who quietly save lives behind cracked smiles and stolen tip jars. In the hospital, where mercy costs money, but kindness like his is priceless, unchecked. Clara doesn't sleep that night. She stands by the third-floor window, watching the city breathe. Under the pulse of ambulance lights, her mind replaying the young doorman's shaking hands, his mother's frail photo taped inside his locker, the cleaner's bowed head when she gave back his job. Each frame fuels her resolve. The hospital board will question her disguise soon, but tonight She has bigger questions floating through sterile corridors somewhere in this building more. Kindness is buried beneath gossip, and fear Clara walks the dim hallway, pausing by the vending machine. She overhears two nurses whispering about missing pain meds patients who claim they never got what they signed for. She files this away in the same mental folder as the stolen tip jar and the smirk of the head pharmacist she saw last week, counting boxes twice in the supply room. The security cameras catch everything. She's planted them in blind spots managers ignore. She returns to the break room, now empty except for the cleaner, who sits with a steaming cup of instant coffee, eyes swollen from crying. He jumps when he sees Clara, but she smiles. Sliding beside him, no mask this time, her CEO badge hangs from her neck, and she offers him real sugar packets, not stolen ones from the patient pantry. He asks her quietly why she cares. When so many look away, Clara listens to his story. Staff who vanish overnight, whispers about a storage room patients never see, full of branded samples that never reach the poor ward. She promises him no one will vanish again. She gives him her private number, makes him promise to call if anyone threatens him. The cleaner clutches the paper like a lifeline in the hallway. The young doorman waits. She beckons him. They walk side by side past sleeping patients. She asks about his mother, about how he learned to calm angry visitors without security, how he feeds the homeless man outside the parking garage using leftover cafeteria trays. His eyes stay on the floor as if embarrassed, but Clara sees the truth stitched into his posture, too honest for his own safety. They pause near the admin wing, where voices echo from behind the closed door. The board members meet secretly at this hour. She presses her ear to the door, catching bits of hissed words, budgets, cuts, embezzlement, hush bonuses, the same names she's seen on suspicious invoices. She pulls the doorman back into the shadows, telling him softly, tonight you will see what I see. They slip into her hidden surveillance room deep in the basement. A wall of monitors flickers with every hallway, every break room, every storage closet. She shows him the file on the missing meds, the digital paper trail linking the head pharmacist and the senior nurse, both pocketing vials meant for patients. She points to another feed, the chief of surgery slipping a cash-stuffed envelope into a lawyer's briefcase behind the locked door. Clara turns to the doorman, his face pale, seeing corruption dripping from polished floors and polite handshakes. She asks him to trust her. A plan is forming, rough and dangerous, but it needs one honest witness brave enough to stand beside her. He nods, not because he's fearless, but because he's tired of fear owning him. She tells him to follow the cleaner tomorrow, Shadow, the pharmacy note, who enters and leaves. She gives him a tiny recording pen the size of a shirt button. He clutches it like a weapon. When she smiles at him, it's not the CEO's practiced grin, but a tired promise that maybe this war for decency can be one. Dawn creeps through the high windows, painting the basement walls gold. Clara dismisses him, tells him to sleep, but she stays staring at the monitor, showing the head pharmacist unlocking the narcotics safe at 4 a.m., pocketing bottles under his coat. She watches helplessly, knowing the cameras aren't enough. People want proof from a trusted face. The young doorman is her proof. Upstairs, the rude orderlies have been fired. Word spreads fast. Staff gossip crackles like fire around Clara's hidden name. Some fear her, some hate her, but a few begin to lift their heads. A junior nurse slides an anonymous note under her office door while she pretends to nap on the couch. The note lists nights the pain meds vanish and which patients suffered without relief. Clara pins it on her board beside stolen payroll slips, falsified overtime sheets, and a map of the secret storage room the cleaner whispered about. Every dot is a wound in her hospital. Every secret is a bleeding vein she stitches with quiet anger. Dusk returns again. She calls the young doorman to the basement. They watch footage together, him gripping her hand when the head pharmacist swaps real pills for sugar capsules destined for uninsured patients. She explains how they'll confront him, not with a memo, but with the truth, displayed for every nurse, orderly, and patient to see. They craft a plan. The doorman will pretend to deliver the next batch of supplies. He'll wear the recording pen. He'll push open the wrong door just in time to film the pharmacist's private stash. Clara arranges her own trap, a fake meeting request signed in the name of the missing HR manager who knew too much last year and quit. Overnight, the bait is irresistible. She prints a duplicate key for the storage room, slides it under there. Pharmacist's locker. The plan feels sharp perfect, but Clara's gut tightens. She senses the walls. Listening at midnight, she slips into the ICU to check the patient. The doorman fed. She finds a single rose taped to the heart monitor, a child's scribbled thank you note left by a visitor. She never saw a moment of grace before the storm when she turns back toward the hallway. There, lights flicker. A shadow moves near the corner by the stairwell. She freezes. A soft hiss slices the silence. The hidden door behind the vending machine creaks open. She steps back, pressing her back to the cold wall. She knows no staff have access. They're not at this hour. A boot steps out, then another, then a man in black scrubs, face hidden under a surgical mask. No name badge, no greeting. He holds up something shiny and small, a spare master key from her own office drawer. Clara's heart slams her chest. The cameras can't see this angle. She opens her mouth to shout, but the man steps closer, whispering, "You should have stayed behind your desk, ma'am." His voice, familiar, too familiar. Behind the mask, the hallway beyond echoes with the doorman's footsteps. He rounds the corner just in time to see the masked man lunge. Clara gasps. A single thought burns through her fear. I was too late. And the world freezes here, waiting for part 3 to decide who walks out of this hospital alive. The doorman sees it before his mind can form words. Clara pinned against the cold wall, the masked man's grip like iron, his other hand shoving something sharp against her ribs. The doorman drops the supply cart. It clatters, metal echoing down the sterile corridor. He doesn't think about courage. He thinks about Clara's quiet promise about his mother sleeping safe, because this woman cared when others didn't. His feet move before fear can stop him. He rams his shoulder into the masked man's side. The force sends all three sprawling. A crash of supply bins rolling across the tiles. The masked man curses, a voice both unfamiliar and hauntingly known. Under the hiss of the mask, Clara gasps. Her fingers find the edge of the cart. She drags herself up, locking eyes with the doorman, his face a mix of raw fear and unyielding resolve. She sees in him the same fire that once burned in her young bones before boardrooms and fake smiles dulled it. He pulls her behind him, arms spread, blocking the masked man, who now stands panting, blade gleaming in the flickering hallway light. Clara's mind races, every second a drop of blood in her mental ledger. She whispers behind the doorman's shoulder, "Don't let him touch you, stall him." Cameras blind, hear her voice sharp. Her eyes dart to the tiny backup camera she stashed behind the exit sign. Last month, when she suspected this corridor was too quiet, she praised the feed still. Records through the cheap hidden lens. The masked man laughs, low, bitter, spitting through his mask. "You should have stayed out of the basement, Clara. Your father would have known better." Her breath catches ice, spreads through her gut. Father, her mind claws through old memories. A half-buried scandal, a rival surgeon fired decades ago. A family whispered into silence. The masked man lunges again. The doorman blocks him, fists clumsy, but fueled by the raw animal need to protect. Clara seizes the dropped blade, slides it away with her foot. The masked man roars, slamming the doorman against the vending machine. Glass cracks, sodas explode. The doorman slumps, dazed, eyes fluttering. Clara screams his name, but it's lost in the echo. She lunges at the masked man, fist useless, but fury incandescent. Her nails rake across the mask, tearing it halfway free. And there, in the flickering light, stands the head pharmacist, eyes bulging, lips pulled back in a snarl. Not just a thief, not just a petty crook, but a man with a decades-old vendetta linked to her family's legacy. Her mind reels, connecting hidden dots, the missing meds, the hush bonuses, the sabotage. It was him all along, building an empire under her nose. Her hospital turned feeding trough. He raises a fist to strike her again, but the doorman groans, pushing himself up, blood dripping from a gash over his brow. He hurls a metal tray. It clangs off the pharmacist's temple enough to stagger him. Clara finds her footing, drags the doorman back. They stumble down the hall, alarms finally shriek, doors open, night staff spill out, gasps echo. Seeing their CEO bloodied, the pharmacist ripping the mask away, snarling at them, he flees down the fire exit. Clara gasps to a trembling nurse, calls security, lock the east wing. She cradles The doorman's bruised face, whispering, "You did good, you did so good." But the doorman shakes, his head weakly struggling to stand, mumbling, "We're not safe." Yet his eyes dart to the hidden exit. The pharmacist used, they both know the hospital maze better than any map. She helps him. Staggered to the basement surveillance room, they slam the door, lock at her hands, fly over the control screens, flicker. Every hallway, the staff, security racing floor by floor searching, but the pharmacist is a ghost here. Clara rewinds the hidden feed. She sees the whole attack grainy, but clear enough for the board, for the police, for the press, proof that her hospital's rot has a name. The doorman wipes blood from his eyes, voice hoarse. "We can leak it now tonight, break his power." Clara freezes her eyes on the screen. Something feels wrong, too easy, her gut screams. Remember the fake name on the invoices, the hush money funneled to off-site accounts. The pharmacist was greedy, but he had partners. This wasn't solo rage, this was clean up someone. Higher, still hiding behind polished doors, she turns to the doorman. "We can't leak it, yet not all of it. If we show this, he'll run, disappear, or worse, they'll kill us. To shut us up." She pulls him to the old archive room next door, shelves of dusty records, forgotten by the digital age. She pushes aside a rusted filing cabinet, behind it a floor safe, her father's secret legacy. She twists the dial hands, shaking inside dusty folders, contracts, names, deals, all the people who bought her hospital piece by piece. She pulls a worn notebook, pages crammed with old signatures, cross-referenced with new board members, buried trusts, shell companies, the pharmacist a pawn in a much older game. The doorman reads over her shoulder, his lips move silently, tracing the same family name as hers, buried under fake charities. It was never just stolen meds, it was stolen legacy, stolen mercy, stolen hope. His hand finds hers cold, but steady. What do we do now? Clara's eyes harden. She stands, pulling him with her. We find him first, we pull every secret into daylight, we ruin every deal until they have nowhere to hide. Her phone buzzes, an unknown number blinking. She answers, a distorted voice rasps, "Leave it alone, Clara. Next time the boy bleeds out, next time you both vanish." She hurls the phone against the wall screen, splintering. The doorman grips her arm. Voice calm, "Let them come, ma'am. We fight." Clara nods, her mind a hurricane. She digs a hidden earpiece from her pocket, snaps it into the doorman's ear, whispers directions. "Find the cleaner. Find the honest nurse. Tell them go home, pack, leave town tonight. Take my money, start over. They will come for you." He protests, shaking his head. "I stay with you." She cups his face, "Gentle, know you. Stay alive." She pushes him toward the back stairwell, footsteps thunder above, guard shouting. The east wing doors bang open, an alarm wails, power flickers. She snatches the hard drive from the surveillance rack, tucks her father's ledger in her coat. Her heart pounds behind her ribs like a war drum. She turns, once locking eyes with the doorman. His lips form silent words, "I trust you." Then he vanishes down the stairs. Clara faces the old basement door alone, breath steaming. Breath steady, footsteps echo closer, heavy, deliberate. She clutches the ledger tighter, her free hand curls around the emergency alarm lever, hidden behind the water heater. If she pulls it, every light, every camera, every door will flash live to the city. But at what cost? Voices hiss just beyond the door. The handle creaks, turning, and in that breathless heartbeat, Clara knows she's not just fighting for a hospital, she's fighting for every truth they tried to bury. And as the door swings open, she whispers to the darkness, "Come see what's left of your secret unchecked." The basement door swings wide open. Clara doesn't flinch, not this time. Her fingers grip the emergency alarm lever behind the rusted heater. She counts the steps echoing into the dark corridor, slow, deliberate, boots too polished for a petty thief. The first figure steps through, tall, broad shoulders, expensive tailored coat, a silk tie, not hospital issue. His face hides behind the flicker of the dying hallway bulb, but she knows him. She's always known him, Mr. Vandross, chairman of the board, her father's oldest friend, the man who once gave her a stuffed bear when she was 6 after her father's funeral. Now his eyes slit thin, a serpent behind rimless glasses. His voice slides over the damp walls, "Clara, Clara, Clara, what a mess you've made." She doesn't blink, doesn't retreat. She shifts her feet so the alarm lever stays hidden by her hip. Vandross circles her, slowly admiring the ancient safe behind her, the hard drive half hidden in her coat. He clucks His tongue, "I trusted you to smile for the cameras, sign the forms, host charity galas, not crawl on your knees pretending to clean floors." Your father would weep. Clara's chest knots at the name, but her eyes stay hard, colder than the concrete under her boots. "You poisoned this place. Vandross, you made it a feeding ground. You sold mercy by the gram." Vandross smiles thin, and with his hand lifts, and behind him step two more shadows, faceless, in black coats, heavy shoulders, gloved fists, hired muscle. Clara's pulse races, her finger twitches near the lever. If she pulls at the hospital, locks down, alarms blare, live feeds spill onto every staff phone, every local reporter's tablet. The truth unfiltered, a storm too big for Vandross's hush money. But the doorman, her brave boy, his mother, the cleaner, the young nurse, all pawns, all vulnerable if she triggers it too soon. Vandross's mouth curls, sly, as if reading her mind. "You think you win with your little toy camera, dear girl. No, you leak that footage. My lawyers bury you in court. You run it to the press. They bury your staff in stories of missing meds, negligence, malice. I paint you a mad heiress. Rewriting old ghosts. You lose, I win forever." He steps closer, the bodyguards shift like sharks behind him. Clara's mouth tastes metal, rage, grief, betrayal, all curdled into one hard knot. She forces her lips, calm voice steady. "But your mask is slipping. Father knew you'd come for his seat. You gutted this place, but you missed something he left." She taps her coat, the old ledger. Vandross's eyes flick, just a flick, but it's enough. Clara smiles slow. "Yes, this is your last night, old man. Before you, by your way out, I empty every vault. I air every name I drag you screaming into daylight." Vandross's smile dies. One hand flicks at his men. They surge forward, but Clara twists the lever. The basement quakes with sirens, red lights, strobe, security locks slam, doors upstairs slam shut. The roar of metal gates crashing echoes through the concrete. Vandross barks, curses, the muscle lunges, but Clara ducks, weaving past, grabbing the old safe handle, swinging it open. Papers scatter as she yanks the doorman's backup flash drive hidden under her father's last watch. She runs, bullets of breath slicing her ribs, footsteps thunder behind her. She sprints up the side stairs, hard hammering past the old supply room, up to the admin hall. Red lights paint her path, guards stagger past her, earpieces crackle with confusion. Lockdown, emergency code blue, intruder alert. The hospital staff swarm, half awake, half terrified. Vandross's men lose her in the chaos. She darts through a laundry chute, landing in a pile of stale sheets, bruises bloom along her spine, but adrenaline numbs everything. She claws her way out, limps down a back corridor, past the maternity ward, through a side door, alarms wailing in her ears. Somewhere in the maze, the doorman hides, clutching the cleaner and nurse safe in an old storage closet. As she instructed, she prays, they stay hidden. Vandross won't dare shoot innocent staff, but cornered dogs bite. She punches a code into a hidden service elevator. It hums, groaning from disuse. She slips inside, breath heaving, sweat dripping between her shoulder blades. The doors close, metal coffin. She leans against the cool steel, hugging the ledger, hugging the flash drives, hugging the last truth, her father's secrets, her hospitals, since her staff's salvation. Above her, the hospital PA system crackles. Vandross's oily voice, now dripping desperation. "Dear staff, ignore the alarm. We are handling an unfortunate security malfunction. Do not evacuate. Remain calm." Clara snarls, shoving her thumb over the old elevator's override key. Her father built these shafts himself. Old tunnels no digital map can trace. She rides up past the 5th floor, then the 7th. The control panel flickers, dying. She curses under her breath. Battery low, lights flicker, darkness eats the walls, but she keeps rising toward the executive wing. She has one chance, slip into her old office, download every file she never signed, leak it to every journalist who still remembers her father's name, make Vandross bleed money and reputation until his empire rots. She doesn't care if she burns too, she will not lose. To cowards, the elevator jolts, hard brakes squeal to a halt. Between floors, her stomach lurches. She bangs her fist on the panel, breath fogging the stale air. Power flickers, gone the shaft, groans, metal grinding her heart pounds like a drum in a burial pit. She kicks the hatch above the emergency exit, scrambles onto the roof of the stalled cab, inches up the narrow crawl space, cold steel biting her palms. Every muscle screams, but she sees the faint beam of a maintenance light above the last rung. Freedom. She claws up, pushes the grate. Open hauls herself into a pitch-black utility corridor. The walls hum faintly, with backup generators. Humming life into surgery wards, but leaving admin floors. Dark, the perfect cloak. She crawls belly to the dusty tiles, hearing faint footsteps below. Vandross's men searching floor by floor radio. Chatter thick with rage. She hugs the wall, breath steady, mind sharper than ever. She inches toward her old office, 2 turns left past the IT closet. She freezes, voices ahead, one raspy low. It's the head pharmacist, alive, bruised, but loyal to Vandross. Another voice, young, cracking with stress, a new pawn. Vandross recruiting fresh staff to hunt her down. The pharmacist hisses she has the original safe. She has the ledger. She's going to kill us all. If she leaks it, we need to corner her. The young one whispers, but she has security footage. He laughs, vicious, soft. Not for long. The main server's burning now. Vandross said torch everything. She stifles a gasp. Server burning. She left the doorman's recordings uploading on that main drive. Her only mass proof gone. She claws backward, knees scraping. She must reach the server room, override the fail safe, save the upload before it all turns to ash. She spins around, her boot slips on the dusty floor. She crashes into an old supply rack. Metal clatters, a mop clanks, echoes like a gunshot. The corridor goes dead silent. The pharmacist's hiss turns toward the sound. Footsteps thud closer, closer. Clara flattens herself behind a dusty linen trolley, mind racing, a single truth pounding through her bones. She is outnumbered, cornered, maybe dying, but she is not alone. A soft vibration hums against her ribs. Her emergency phone hidden deep in her bra, battery blinking red. One last text from the doorman, one last heartbeat. His message reads, ma'am, basement east tunnel, found another way out, meet me roof in 10. They don't know I have the cleaner with me. We are ready. Clara's throat locks, eyes burning. Vandross thinks he's winning. The server's burning, but she still has the boy. The witness, the last piece of honest truth. She grips the ledger tighter. Behind her, the pharmacist whispers to his new lackey, check the noise. They round the corner, boots crunching broken glass. Clara exhales, silent, slow, coiled like a spring. The cleaner's face flickers. Behind her eyes, the doorman's bruised grin. The hospital worth saving, the darkness parts just enough for her to see. Her escape, the old dumbwaiter shaft leading straight up to the rooftop. If she can crawl there first, if she can drag the ledger that drives the last truth up to the waiting dawn, maybe, just maybe, she can finish this. But a gloved hand closes around her ankle, yanking her back. Silence unchecked. Clara's world tilts when the gloved hand yanks her from behind the linen trolley. Her back smacks the cold tile, breath knocked clean out her vision. Swims, boots slam down near her ribs. The pharmacist crouches, face slick with sweat, eyes wild with hate. His fingers jam into her shoulder, pinning her down as his drips poison. You could have stayed rich, Clara, but you wanted to be a hero. Now you'll die a ghost. She twists beneath him, teeth gritted, hands clawing for the ledger, but his knee crushes her forearm. The old papers slip across the floor, pages scatter like lost leaves. The pharmacist snatches the flash drive, smirking, holding her father's secrets between dirty fingertips. The young lackey hovers behind him, eyes wide at the chaos. The burning servers, the alarms still screaming. Clara wheezes, fighting for air. She sees past the pharmacist's shoulder down the corridor, where flickering red strobes hint at her only path out. She locks eyes with the lackey, a boy really skin pale, sweat on his brow. She rasps to him, is this what you signed up for? Silence. He flinches. The pharmacist snarls, slaps Clara's cheek hard enough to split her lip. Stay down, hero CEO. He waves the drive at the lackey. Burn it all, then get the safe room ready. Vandross wants no evidence by dawn, but the lackey trembles, voice breaking. Sir, they said Vandross already left the roof. Is locked down. The news van's outside. Someone leaked the footage. Clara's heart lurches. The doorman, the brave doorman he found. Another feed, another line out. His battered mind outwitted them. The pharmacist's face twists, rage, terror, betrayal in a single sick grin. You think your little dog boy saved you? Bitch, he spits. She'll never leave this basement alive. He stands, dragging Clara up by her hair, but rage cracks the young lackey. At last, he shoves the pharmacist stumbling back. shouting, "I didn't sign up for this. You said no one dies. You said hush money easy. Bonuses, but she saved my sister. She got my mom free surgery. You said you'd fix it." The pharmacist pulls a hidden scalpel aiming for the boy's throat. Clara lunges, every nerve. Screaming, her fingers crush the man's wrist, snap the blade free. They wrestle bodies, slamming into old lockers, mops clatterbuckets, roll. The lackey ducks behind them. Clutching the precious drive, Clara's hand finds the fallen scalpel. She plunges it once and two. The pharmacist's side, warm blood floods her palm. His scream gurgles, echoes down the hallway. She shoves him off, staggering to the boy. "Take it to the roof. The doorman is waiting." The lackey's eyes wide, nods, once bolts. Down the red-lit corridor, Clara stumbles. After her body, raw lungs burning, she leaves the pharmacist slumped against the concrete, gasping like a gutted rat, too weak now to crawl. She doesn't look back. She drags herself toward the old dumbwaiter, wedge it open with a mop handle, climbs inside, knees bloodied, shoving the ledger under her shirt, cradling the final backup drive. The walls rattle, her pulse deafening her ears. Each tug of the rope pulley hoists her closer to the roof. Wind moans through the narrow shaft when she pushes the old grate open. Dawn spills golden over the city. The rooftop swarms with chaos below. News vans swarm, staff gather in crowds, chanting whispers that the CEO saved them, that the monster is caught, that someone dared to pull every secret into the sun. She crawls out, gasping, hands and knees scraping hot tar. The doorman runs to her, his bruised face split in a grin. The cleaner behind him, wide-eyed at the freedom, at the sky so clean after so much dirt. Clara collapses into the doorman's arms, voice hoarse. "We did it, you did it." He shakes his head, tears in his lashes. "We did it together, ma'am." Helicopters thunder overhead, police swarm below. The rooftop door bursts open. Vandross stands there, flanked by two final bodyguards, his perfect hair wild, his suit torn, but his voice cold as the wind. "Give me the drive, Clara. I'll vanish you and the boy." Walk away, new identities, money, quiet little lives. Clara laughs, raw and broken and pure. "I am my father's daughter, Vandross. We don't vanish." She holds up the drive for every camera spinning above to see. "We burn the lie to the ground." Vandross lunges, a desperate old wolf, snapping at the dawn. But the doorman steps forward, not the trembling boy anymore, but a man forged by truth. His fist cracks Vandross's jaw, so clean, so final. The bodyguards freeze, then drop their gun. Sirens scream. The rooftop floods with blue uniforms. Clara sags against the doorman. The cleaner kneels beside her, clutching her hand. She looks at the sky, pink and wide and endless. A hospital reborn by a single promise that mercy is worth fighting for always. In the last breath before they lift her onto the stretcher, she whispers to the doorman, "Protect him." All he nods, presses her hand to his chest. "Always, ma'am, always." The cameras roll. The city watches, the truth no longer hidden under blood and polished floors. And as dawn breaks clear over the rooftop, Clara's eyes close, not in defeat, but in peace, knowing the fight is over. Yet somewhere in the shadows, a single phone rings, an untraceable line of voice, cold and amused face. "Two begins tonight. Make sure they never sleep again." And the world turns, waiting to see if light can win again. Hey, if you felt every twist in this story, you're exactly where you need to be. Hit that subscribe button right now. And don't forget the notification bell, because the secrets we're about to expose will shock you even more. Join this family. Stay curious, and together we'll uncover every hidden truth. See you in the next one.